All right, so welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive.
Huh.
Today, we've got a really juicy one.
Oh, yeah.
And, we're going to be looking at the nature of consciousness
Yeah.
and its relationship to, physical reality.
Yeah.
Um,
This is a good one.
it is, it is. And we're going to be looking at a quote from Seth.
Okay.
And, Seth is
Yeah.
a personality channeled by Jane Roberts.
Right. Right.
And whether you're familiar with Seth or not, this quote, I think, is just
Yeah.
it's just a really powerful one.
It is.
And it's going to lead to, I think, a really interesting conversation. So,
I'm excited.
yeah. So the quote is, consciousness creates form. It is not the other way around.
Wow.
So I don't know about you, but when I first read that, it really kind of stopped me in my tracks.
Yeah.
Because, we just kind of assume that, like,
Right.
there's the world, right? And
Yeah.
then we think about the world.
Exactly.
But this is saying it's the other way around.
Yeah. It's completely the opposite. It
Yeah.
flips it on its head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear from you, like,
Yeah.
who or what is Seth, and why should we even care?
Yeah. Great question. So Seth material, as it's often referred to, came through Jane Roberts, starting back in the 1960s.
Okay.
And Jane Roberts was an author, a poet, but through this kind of altered state of consciousness, she was able to channel this entity, this personality, this consciousness that called itself Seth.
Wow.
And over many years, produced volumes and volumes of material exploring consciousness, reality, all sorts of metaphysical concepts.
It's interesting.
And the reason this quote, I think, is so powerful and why it should make us maybe kind of rethink things is because, like you said, it's a complete reversal of the way that we normally think about the world.
Exactly. Yeah.
Typically we tend to assume that consciousness is a byproduct of the brain, that the brain is this physical organ and it produces consciousness. But Seth is saying, nope, it's the other way around.
Totally.
Consciousness is fundamental, and it's actually creating the physical world, including our brains.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's a pretty radical notion.
It is. It is.
But when you start to dig into it, it does raise some really interesting questions.
Yeah. I mean, how does that even work? Like, how can my thoughts actually change,
Yeah. It's a big
physical world?
It's a big question. And to be honest, we don't have all the answers, but I think it's helpful to consider that, the way we view the world is often shaped by our underlying assumptions. And, in the West especially, we've inherited this philosophical framework called materialism. And materialism basically says that matter is the fundamental stuff of reality.
Okay.
And that everything, including consciousness, arises from matter. But there are other philosophical perspectives out there.
Okay.
And one of them is called idealism.
Okay.
And idealism basically says that consciousness is the fundamental stuff of reality.
Okay.
So it's almost like these two different lenses through which we can view the world.
I see. Yeah.
And they lead to very different conclusions about, the nature of reality.
Yeah. Yeah. So materialism saying that matter came first.
Right.
And idealism saying that consciousness was the starting point.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, and Seth's ideas very much align with this idealist perspective.
Gotcha.
And it's not just a philosophical concept.
Right.
There's actually some hints that we see in science that kind of point in this direction.
Okay.
Like, for example, have you ever heard of the placebo effect?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so the placebo effect is this phenomenon where, people's beliefs about a treatment can actually trigger real physiological changes, even if the treatment itself is inert.
Yeah.
So, they're given a sugar pill or something.
Right.
But they believe it's a powerful drug, and their body actually responds as if it's a powerful drug.
That's so wild.
It's really fascinating. It's like the power of belief having this tangible effect on the physical body.
Yeah.
And then there's quantum mechanics.
Oh, okay.
Which, has been showing us that the very act of observation influences the behavior of subatomic particles.
Oh, wow.
So this is called the observer effect. And it suggests that our consciousness, our awareness,
Yeah.
is somehow entangled with the fabric of reality
Oh, wow.
at the most fundamental level.
Yeah.
Which is pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about.
It is,
Yeah.
but it's fascinating, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And this brings us back to Seth's quote.
Okay.
Consciousness creates form. Because if this is true, if consciousness really is primary,
Yeah.
then it means that we have a lot more agency than we typically realize.
Mm-hmm.
Our thoughts, our beliefs, even our fears, our hopes
Yeah.
could be shaping our reality in ways that we haven't even begun to understand.
Yeah. So you're saying that, if I really believe I can do something,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm more likely to achieve it.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I've certainly had experiences where, I've set an intention for something
Yeah.
and truly believed in it and then
Yeah.
seen it kind of unfold in my life.
Exactly. And I think we all have those experiences.
Right.
And that's where the real power of Seth's message comes in.
Yeah.
It's not just about understanding consciousness at some abstract level. It's about recognizing that we have this incredible power
Yeah.
to shape our world.
Yeah.
But maybe we haven't been given the full instruction manual yet.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's like we have this power, but we don't know how to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we believe this, if we buy into this,
Yeah.
where do we even go from here?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
I think the first step is just becoming aware
Okay.
of this connection between our inner world
Uh-huh.
and our outer experiences.
Okay.
Start paying attention to how our thoughts and our beliefs seem to correlate
Yeah.
with the events in our lives.
Okay.
And then, the next step is maybe to start experimenting with consciously using our thoughts to create the reality that we want.
Right. So not just,
Yeah.
letting things happen, but
Right. Being more deliberate.
yeah.
Yeah. Taking more responsibility
Oh.
for our reality.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So if consciousness creates form, like Seth says,
Mm-hmm.
then we all have this amazing opportunity
I think so.
to really shape our lives
Absolutely.
and the world around us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big responsibility too, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
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 But it's also incredibly empowering.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much
Sure.
for taking us on this deep dive.
Yeah.
It's a lot to think about.
It is. It is.
And thank you to all of you for listening.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you next time
See you next time.
for another deep dive.
All right. Bye.
Bye.